Hey guys, Vol here, just going to get started on a 150 point battle report for War Machine and Hordes. This is Khador against Trollbloods. Obviously I'm playing Khador here. It's just been very recently that I've managed to actually get in as many points as I needed to play at this level with Khador. I've assembled some Iron Fang pikemen and got a couple of extra solos in there. Obviously I can use the mercenaries, but been playing against Matt a few times lately, and Matt's brought along Calandra, Madrak 2 and Jarl, and I am playing Vlad 1, Butcher 1 and Iris 2. So we're both pretty much going for the best casters available to the faction, although having played the game, I think that Iris 1 would have been better than Iris 2 in this matchup for Iron Flesh and the Feet. It's a little bit more useful, and Butcher 3 probably would have been pretty good given Silence of Death in this matchup, so maybe I'll try that next time. Jarl's very good for just killing 4 guys a turn with Magic Bullet, and in such a big game you can sort of pick up the most important models in the field. And obviously Calandra's Star-Crossed is making a big difference in the feet, an extremely big difference. And Madrak, of course, obviously he's got his feet and Blood Fury, so plenty that he can do. So just going straight into it, the scenario, we're playing a custom version of Process of Elimination. You've got to get 7 points to win, not just the normal 5, just to make it a little bit more difficult to win in a bigger game, because otherwise you could sort of contest both zones potentially with 2 different casters. Battlefield fairly straightforward. I've taken the role for the first turn here. Sometimes you go second in these big games just to deploy what you need to opposite the relevant troops, but I just wanted to get in position and start shooting and start attacking first, if that makes sense. It sounds a bit innocuous, but let's move to the next image. So he's got his Warwagon on the right hand flank with the Mountain King. He seemed fairly intent to avoid the Conquest, and the Conquest does travel a lot further thanks to Vlad's feet. But if I do attack the Mountain King with the Conquest, then he should be able to counterattack with his heavies behind there and kill me. So I don't think that's going to be a huge issue there. They're the 2 colossals, the colossal gargantuan face off. Next image, just got the Doom Reavers on the flank there, planning on heading around and hopefully getting some damage done before they are taken out by those Digmies. And he's actually got what are those ambushing guys called? Bog Trog ambushes, which will actually be very effective this game, because there's nothing I can really stop him from just attacking me on the side. There's just too much space on the battlefield, or too little space I should say, so you can't really avoid them very easily. Next image, straight through here, we've got the 3 buddies, Vlad, Iris, and Butcher in the middle, and infantry just trying to push up through the center. One big difference this game is the martial discipline ability that Iris has just to prevent the traffic jam, which there were a couple of turns where I sort of forgot about it, but those times where I did remember it was extremely useful. Next image, the Trolls. He's got 2 units of Warders and a unit of Champions, just playing the meat mountain going through the center. I don't really care what matchup you're in, those guys are always very effective, and Troll players are just taking them so much nowadays. They've become popular because they are really that effective, so I can't blame them for just shoving them up the middle. Next image over here, we've got the Ulans just behind the front line. The good thing about them is they're fast enough that I can redeploy them mid-game, sort of just marching and galloping around the back line to get to where they're needed. And of course the sniper's making a row up the front. Next image here, we've got his Nest Hunters. He's got a Croctor back there. Gatorman and Witch Doctor putting a Zombify on the Nest, just in case you're wondering why he needs Tough. Pretty much the only unit that can have it there is going to get it. And the Fenblades through the center next to Jarl. So after Khador has taken turn 1 and just run up straight forward here, he has moved up with his Fenblades and moving Jarl onto the hill. This was quite an interesting turn because he managed to fire a couple of magic bullets into Iris, and he had 1 focus and actually severely damaged him, so that meant that I would actually have to move back with Iris and camp with him for the rest of the game. So, it was a good move, I think, him doing that, and if it actually fired at Iris directly, he might even assassinated me turn 1, which would have been really painful. Next image here, we've got the Warwagon trying to get some kills on the Doom Reavers. He does manage to pick off a couple of them, but not doing any huge amounts of damage. He's also feated with jarls, so he's got the five cloud templates through the middle of the field, which will save him from any sort of retaliation. Next photo here, this is after I've taken my turn to. The Doom Rivers are just run in to engage some troops on the left, but mini feating with Iron Fang Pikemen to go to armor 22, and everything else just moving into position. I've actually shot some of the Nis with the Winter Guard, but other than that, minimal casualties, maybe killed a couple of Fenblades, but now it's his turn to move in and actually get some damage done. So next photo, here's the situation with Fenris right around the side. Bogtrogs, could actually just charge him up the arse there, but they decided not to. And he's passed his command check with the Swamp Gobbers, so it's fine there, but the War Wagon is able to dish out most of the damage here, and actually will be attacking Fenris in this particular turn. Next image, here's what we've got on the side. Iron Flesh on the Winter Guard, very useful in this game since he doesn't really have much blast damage, apart from, as we saw, the War Wagon. So with Iron Flesh, Signs of Portents, Kovnik Joe, Winter Guard should be the main muscle on this side of the table. Next photo, he's decided to deploy his Bogtrogs over here next to the Nis and the Kovnik, and of course they're charging in. They did manage to kill the Kovnik, they killed Velichev and one of the Nis Hunters, so that was quite annoying. I really should have sort of bounced Iron Flesh over to these guys maybe. Or, in fact, if I had Iris 1 instead of Iris 2, I would have been able to have the Iron Flesh on the Nis Hunters as well as the Winter Guard, which would have been very effective this game. But I didn't think of that. The next image, he's moved up with his Stigmies, and they will be charging the Mana Wars. He also cast Blood Fury on them with Madrak, so expect to see lots of damage here. Even though I'm armor 21, those Stigmies pump out a lot of damage with their attacks with that buff on them, that's for sure. Next image, War Wagon moving over here and reducing Fenris to 2 boxes left on the mounted version and knocking him down. Pretty cool photo here, gets to see some detail. But Fenris is still standing after this onslaught. Next image here, some of the pikemen have been destroyed. Countercharge with the Dracoon doesn't really do any damage except giving Battle Driven out to the warders. But look at them, they're angry, and moving in and doing plenty of damage to him. He is still on his horse at this stage, but he has taken a bit of a hit. So next image here, Bogtrogs have attacked. As I mentioned, they do take out Velichev, the Kovnik, and one of the Nis Hunters, but after that I should be able to dispose of them with all the stuff I've got behind the lines here. So next image, we've got the Outriders and the Winter Guard again moving around here. I think this is my turn 3, and we've got 2 Jacks moved up. He put a lot of damage onto the objective on the right hand side, but only left it on 1 box. It was very easy, of course, for me to move up and actually finish that off and get the point for myself. But we've moved in with Drago, which Drago's actually damaged some of the warders pretty easily, and the Juggernaut running up there in Butcher's battle group. And everybody else just moving forward and getting some shots off. Vlad has moved behind the Conquest to avoid Magic Bullet, and Signs of Portents doing a lot of damage here. Even against Starcrossed, obviously, sort of balances out a bit. Throw an extra dice, drop the highest, drop the lowest, and you generally get some fairly average dice rolls, which is quite interesting. Next image over here, the Nis Hunters have turned around and I think shot some of the Bogtrogs. Gorman's thrown an acid bomb and taken out a couple of them. You can barely see Gorman there behind the Nis line, and I think the Destroyer turned around and blew some of them up as well. So that's the end of the Bogtrogs. Next image after that, this is the center of the battlefield. We've got I think Butcher's feet at this point, and the Great Bears all charged in and did a whole lot of damage on the champions. We've also got Signs of Portents affecting the pikemen as well, but one thing I forgot to do was to put Fury on them, or even Battle Lust, so if I'd had that extra little bit of damage, the pikemen would have probably taken out a couple more trolls, but as it stands, they are pretty tough here, what with the Creel Stones back there, with their battle-driven ability and everything else you can think of. So I tried to crack the center here, but didn't quite manage it. So we're turning into a bit of a brawl, a grind. Next image. This is a bit of an overview on the battlefield here. Still both sides with plenty of troops to spare. I feel like I'm doing much better on the right-hand flank than the left-hand flank, but I think that's what it's going to come down to. And relocating the Ulans here, so they're body-blocking Iris, who's damaged in the bottom left, and the other three moving into position to charge the following turn. The Mana Wars have cleared out the Digmies on that side too. Next image, you can actually see that there, so the Mana Wars are sort of towing the zone a little bit, and the Doom Reavers are still fighting off the War Wagon, although they still haven't managed to destroy it. They've reduced it to about 7 boxes, I think it is. And that looks to be that. Mortars going off every turn, but not doing a lot of damage, even though Fire 4 effect is on one of them. Just got to get those direct hits, that's the main thing. Next image, Sons of Brag moving through. These guys did pretty well. They've destroyed Drago, who was already damaged from the Slag Troll. They've destroyed the Juggernaut, and generally making a nuisance of themselves. Bit of a spray going off, but not really connecting because of the Iron Flesh Winter Guard with Bob and Weave defense 17, so they're fairly resilient against that. The Eliminator has lost her friend though and failed the command check though. Next image, quite like this one. Rock moves up and sprays, and he does that so he can actually try and get rid of the pikemen which are engaging Jarl, and does manage to boost and get a couple of kills there, but I quite like the photo. Sort of looks very transparent, and this is what you imagine the spray to look like on the battlefield. Next image, trolls are attacking. All of the Great Bears are destroyed in this little onslaught here. He decides not to use Madrak's Feet, I think, in this turn, and saves it for later. But Madrak's Feet obviously can be very, very dangerous when you get a lot of these warders in range, since they're very good after Battle Driven's been triggered, obviously. Next image, again, he's attacking the objective, and I think this turn he did decide to feat. I take it back, because he'd failed to kill the objective, so he had to feat and actually wipe it out, because he didn't want to give me yet another control point, otherwise it would have been too difficult to win on scenario later in the game. But as you can see, Great Bear's gone, most of the pikemen destroyed, and after he feats here, the Mana War Kovnik is routed as well, and the remainder of the pikemen, so it's going to be time for me to send in a second wave after this. Next image, that's indeed what happens. Ulan's charging in, the Mana War's charging in, Nishunter's charging in with Fury, mind you, and taking out maybe 3 or 4 more of those models. It's slow going against the heavy infantry, it's just really tough. And on the right hand side of the field, Winter Guard moving up and blasting away the Sons of Brag. Vlad moving behind the Conquest, and at this point I'm on 3 control points, he's on 1. So I've got to try and dominate the right hand zone 2 more times to win, and that's just generally going to be the plan. Don't forget guys, first to 7 in this special scenario, because it's such a large game. So hopefully that makes sense. Next image, this is what the right hand flank looks like. Winter Guard still fairly intact. We've moved in a line in front of the Conquest, and it is very hard for him to kill these guys just because of Iron Flesh and Tough. Trolls not very accurate on this side of the table. They've got some war beasts, but that's about it. Nothing really significant in the way of blast damage. Next image, he's charged in here with what remains of the Trollkin Warders and the Fellcaller. Does manage to pick off the remainder of the Nis and the Mana Wars here, so that will allow him to move in with Madrak and get up to 3 control points at the end of this turn, and trampling in with their War Wagon as well. So, next photo, as you can see, this is where the Mountain Kings end up. He's moved through there, he's managed to kill one of the nests, I think, and use his spray to get some damage done, but very difficult for him to actually hit with the spray. His rat's very low. But that's the position he's in. Next image, we've moved in with Rock, who's tried to get a spray off, not really achieving anything. And as you can see, he's just tried to contest the zone. He's got Rock in the zone, Impaler, Slag Troll, Gatorman, Witch Doctor, and 2 Nis Hunters. So what I need to do here is move the Winter Guard to one side, shoot the rest of the Nis and the Witch Doctor, and then charge in with the Conquest and wipe out the War Beasts. But it's just quite difficult because 6 is to hit. He's got Star-Crossed, I've got Sons of Portents. So next photo, it's my turn. Vlad feats and puts 3 focus on the Conquest. He charges in, and Butcher's actually put Fury on him as well. So this is a power 25 model. Misses the charge attack, which was really heart-wrenching. Second attack hits Rock and does like 15 damage, and then third attack kills Rock. And then I missed the following 2 attacks on the in the Impaler. So that was really sad. It means that I probably won't win the game now, because having attacked and not kill the Impaler, and nothing else is able to get to him, it means that I can't sort of win straight away in the next turn, and he can retaliate and kill the Conquest. So it's going to take too long for me to win here, if I calculated correctly. So we'll see what happens, but it's just really unfortunate. And don't forget, guys, that when you're rolling 4 dice, dropping the highest and the lowest, chances are you're going to get sixes. I mean, I expected to maybe miss 1 attack, but to miss 2 attacks out of 5 just wasn't cool. It might even be 3 attacks that I missed that turn. I think it was. So really unlucky. Next image. This is the overview of the battlefield. I've got the Kovnik and 1 Ulan contesting the zone, but if he dominates 2 more times, he'll win. And I'm still on 3 control points, so I've yet to dominate 2 more times, and it's going to take me a while to do that on the right-hand side of the field, even though I'm doing pretty well over there. Next image, Ulans, the remainder of them have moved through, finally destroyed that annoying, champion guy with Thresher. Trollbloods champion hero, I think he's called. And obviously the jarl and calandra on the hill with calandra's wall, Genesis wall, very safe as houses even. So next image, you can see where Vlad is. He's just being blocked off by a couple of outriders who had a crack at trying to destroy the Impaler with their sprays, but didn't quite manage it. Did put a little bit of damage on him, but just didn't quite get there. Got the destroyer lobbing some shells over the wall too on the left hand side of the photo. Next image, we've got Calandra, who has had Blood Fury cast on her by Madrak, and quickens up as well. She's obviously bullet dodge has gone down now since it's an upkeep, and it's been replaced by Blood Fury. So what she's able to do, and if we go to the next photo, is just charge the Conquest, and with Finisher and Blood Fury she does most of its damage. Obviously Storm Troll and Impaler move in and finish it off. But that's the sort of end result of the troll turn on this side of the table. Horgol's in there, whatever it's called, Horgile is in there as well, and that's it. The Conquest is destroyed, completely boxed. So I'm going to have to use a combination of Signs of Portents and some other shenanigans to wipe these guys out. Luckily, though, Starcrossed is not active, and I'll be able to kill one of his warlocks next turn, so that's something. Next image, you can sort of see how it is on the left hand side of the field. He's scored 2 control points there, so he's on 5, I think, at this point, so he's able to win next turn. I'm on 3, so the best I can do is actually score another 2 points. But the thinking here is that I might be able to jam the zone and actually run Irisk over there, so that if I pass some tough rolls, I might be able to manage something. So next photo, what's happened is Butcher's moved up and thrown an obliteration at Calandra and destroyed her. She's got no transfers, and everybody else has just blapped away with their guns and just basically wasted everybody. So that's allowed me to, I think, score a couple of points. Mulg has had to move back into the zone. He wasn't there at the end of my turn. So that's the situation. The Widowmakers have run into the zone. The Destroyers moved into the zone. Holt's in there. The War Dog's in there as well. So that should stop him from winning, because the Mountain King's actually gone wild, given that he was in Calandra's battle group, and Calandra's been destroyed. Same deal with the Axis. So that's bought me a little bit of time. He might not be able to win straight away, and if I can clear the zone a second time, I might be able to get to 7 before he does. So next turn, he moves Madrak up and regains control of the Mountain King. The Warders charge in here, but don't quite manage to destroy the Destroyer. A little bit of a play on words there. So it does mean I'm going to have another shot at this, but he does jam the zone with Horgile and the Chronicler and the Creelstone guys. Mulg's moved out. Yeah, no, actually, sorry, the previous turn Mulg was in the zone, so I wasn't able to get those extra points. So I think I'm still on 3 points at this stage, but I'll definitely be able to clear the zone next turn. So let's have a look at the next photo. Yeah, Butcher moves in here, he's cast Fury on himself, he attacks like 5 times, kills Mulg, kills the Axa. So that's something. So that means it's going to be harder and harder for him to contest the zone that I'm going for. So there's Butcher, what a beast. He's on no focus, but he's done a great job there. Next image, jammed the zone with even more guys. I've moved in the Outriders, I've moved in the Mechanics. Irisk is behind a house there. I've moved in with Wishnailer, the Mortar crew, so everything's got tough. The Destroyer's got a few boxes left, so it's just a matter of whether he managed to move in and clear everything out. On my side of the field, Vlad's actually scored another 2 points, so there, I'm on 5 points now, and the Winter Guard have moved through to kill just about everything else. So next photo, Janissa moves up, tectonic shift, pulling one mechanic and an outrider out of there. Champion moves up and kills somebody, and Madrak moves through the gap and annoyingly goes through and actually chops down most of the mechanics, and in doing so I didn't pass even a single tough jack, so 5 of them failed in a row. It was really frustrating, just at the point where you need to actually pass a few of them, it didn't happen. So that was really annoying. Next photo here, the Destroyer has been wiped out by the spray from the Mountain King after the Waters failed to finish him off. The Waters had no battle driven there, so it's 3d6 minus 10, so they didn't get anything through there. But here comes the most awkward part of the game. The Mountain King charges in and destroys the War Dog, sprays the Destroyer to death, and then buys some attacks trying to kill the Mortar and fluffs all of them, so it means basically that he doesn't clear the zone. But then after the Mountain King finishes his activation, we remembered terror checks, so I decided to roll them. Wishnailer passed, but the Mortar rolled double sixes, which is a fail. So if we'd done that at the correct time, what he could have done is just bought attacks against Wishnailer and boosted, since he only needed to kill one model, and he might have actually killed it. And we rolled a 3d6 just to see what would have happened, and yeah, he would have got it. So if we'd done that in the correct order, Trollbloods would have won at the end of this turn. So it is a bit awkward. I mean, I like to think that he probably managed to win this game. Then again, we didn't do it in the right sequence, and we only remembered later. We might not have even remembered period. Also, it would have come down to the dice roll. So yes, there's that. The other thing is too. I mean, I didn't pass any tough rolls in this turn, not even one. And earlier on in the game, I could have actually won a lot earlier by destroying the Axer, and I didn't manage to do that. So there you have it. Looks like that's the end of the game. If you go to the next photo, there's the end situation. He's contested the zone with 2 Creelstone Bearers, but in my turn I just destroy them straight away and get to 7 points. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. The actual outcome was a little bit grey. I mean, technically it's a win for Khador, but the other way you think of it, yeah, it's a Trollblood win. I mean, they probably deserved the win more than I did, I suppose. But either way, it was a good, entertaining game, and everybody had fun, and I'm looking forward to the next time we play, and I definitely think I'll probably choose some different casters, given that Epic Irisk wasn't, quite as useful as I wanted them to be. Maybe Sorcerer or something like that might be better next time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll catch you later.